Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome to Tuesday's English lesson. Our LC today is Can I write an informal letter? Now, we should have a good idea of what informal and formal writing is from yesterday's lesson, but let's have a quick recap. So, again, formal language is the kind of language used for more official or serious purposes, speaking to somebody that you don't know or somebody in a position of importance. We're going to concentrate more on the second one today, though, informal language. And informal language is the more casual and less serious. So the kind of language you would use when talking to friends, family, and people that you know really well. So we can often use slang words and chatty language, almost like the conversation you would have with those people. Now, the task I'm going to set you today is to write an informal letter. So writing a letter to somebody that you know very well. So it will have a different tone to it. So imagine you've arrived in America and are settled in your hotel room in New York. You start the work for the magazine tomorrow, but you've decided to write home to your family and tell them all about the things that you have seen and done so far. Now, because you know who you're writing to, the letter will be classed as an informal piece. Okay, you can be relaxed and chatty in your style. So what I want you to do is write the letter today as almost as if you're having a conversation with a family member. But these are the things you might want to include in your letter. What could you talk about? You could talk about the travel there and getting to your hotel, the people in the city. What are the people like? Who have you bumped into? Are they friendly? Are they aggressive? What have they been like with you? The sights and the sounds of the city. If you've read about New York in the last few days, you will have hopefully got to know some of the sights, some of the attractions in the city, what it's like. You maybe talk about the hotel itself, what it's like, the place that you're staying. Is it really flash? Is it really expensive? Is it good? Loads of facilities? Or is it a bit dirty and dingy? And what have you enjoyed most about it? You might want to mention that in a letter. And then just finally end with an informal message saying goodbye. So look at the slide, the example on the slide coming up. I've started it, but I'm going to type as we go along. So I've decided to write to my mum. So I'm going to put some of those things that we've just mentioned to give you some idea. So I've started it quite informally. Hiya, mum. I'm not going to start dear mum or something quite formally. I'm going to stay on an informal basis. So hiya isn't something you would say to somebody that you didn't know very well. I hope you're keeping well. I arrived safe and sound in New York on Friday. Now, what else could I say? I said we're going to talk about the hotel. I'm going to say the hotel is really flash. Again, that is not the kind of language I would use for somebody I didn't know. I have a bath about the size of a swimming pool. It is yes. Could we say, let's have a recap and refer back to what we had on the previous slide. So I've talked a little bit about the hotel, the sights and the sounds of the city and the people. So let's go back. The people in New York have been ever so friendly and chatty. I feel really welcome here. And as for the attractions, I'm writing in the first person because I'm writing to my mum. I travelled, spelling right, up to the top of the Empire State Building yesterday, and the views were absolutely fabulous. Wow, you could see for in every direction. There's so much more I could talk about. I could talk about different attractions I've seen, how I travelled there. Yeah, hopefully you'll put a lot more information in, but you can see I'm writing the letter almost like I'm talking, and that's the way you need to be in yours. So I'm just going to finish it off with see you soon. I'm using slang language there. You wouldn't use that if you were talking to Mr. Thompson, the head teacher, for example. I'm just going to put my initial there, P. Some of you will know what that P stands for. Some might not. I'll even give my mum a couple of kisses as well, as I'm sure you will. So hopefully you'll get an idea of how to write this letter. Put as much detail in as you can. It can be quite long. Okay, it can be quite short. It's up to you. But try and cover some of the points we've mentioned on the previous slide, and we'll look forward to reading your letter. Tell us all about your impressions of New York. Good luck.